Let's be honest, dividing assets during a divorce is incredibly difficult, and the family home, that's often the biggest, most emotionally charged piece of the puzzle. If you're going through this in Arizona, you're probably wondering, how is it all actually valued? You need clarity, not more confusion. So that's what we're going to tackle in this explainer. We'll break down the property appraisal process step by step so you know exactly what's coming. Let's get right into it.
You know, the family home isn't just an asset. It's more than bricks and mortar. It's packed with memories. But in a divorce, the court has to see it in black and white, in dollars and cents. It needs a number. So how on earth does the legal system land on a price that's actually fair to everyone, especially when it feels like your whole world is shifting?
And that question, well, it gets right to the heart of the matter. Before we can even talk about solutions, we have to understand the core problem. Which brings us to our first section here, the valuation dilemma. This is all about why you need one single, totally objective number.
Here's the thing you have to understand about Arizona law. It's a community property state. In simple terms, that means the law demands a truly fair or equitable split of all the assets. So when it comes to your home, a casual guess, an online calculator, or just what you feel it's worth, nope, that's not going to cut it for the court. They need a figure that is objective, unbiased, and, most importantly, legally defensible. Okay, so if a Zillow printout or a quick ballpark number isn't good enough, what is? Well, that brings us right to the solution. This section is all about the official gold standard answer, the certified divorce appraisal. This is what's truly court-ready. Everything, and I mean everything, hinges on this one term, fair market value. Now, this isn't what you hope to get for the house, and it's not its value for tax purposes. It's a formal, expert opinion on what a willing buyer would realistically pay for it on the open market right now. This is the number, the official benchmark that the court uses. And this slide really lays out the huge difference. Look at the left side. That's the certified appraisal. Think of it as a formal legal document. It follows super strict federal standards. They're called USPAP, which is basically the official rule book for appraisers. It's built from the ground up to be defended in court. Now, look at the right. A realtor's estimate, that's a marketing tool to get a listing. A tax assessment, that's just for the county to figure out your property taxes. Neither one is designed to hold up under the legal scrutiny of a divorce.
So we get why a certified appraisal is so important. Now let's move on and look at how this whole thing actually works. And the good news here is that it's not some vague, complicated mess. It's actually a pretty clear path forward.
The whole thing really breaks down into 4 straightforward steps. First step is engagement. This is where you and your attorney decide on the scope and, really importantly, the valuation date, which could be today or a specific date in the past. Second is the inspection, where the appraiser comes out and does a complete walkthrough. Third is the market analysis. This is the deep dive research into what similar homes nearby have sold for. And finally, step 4, the final report. You get the official court-ready document, usually just 72 hours after the inspection. Okay, so you see the 4 steps. But knowing the process usually just leads to more questions, right? The practical ones, like, how much is this going to cost me? And will the court even accept it? Let's jump into those practical details right now.
First, let's tackle the big one. What's the price tag? In Arizona, a standard divorce appraisal is typically going to run you somewhere between $450 and $650. Now, the exact fee might change a bit based on your home's size or complexity, but that gives you a really solid ballpark to work with.
And the next question is a huge one. Will the court actually accept this report? The answer is yes, absolutely. And that's because these reports are specifically designed to meet those legal standards. They're what's called USPAP compliant, which just means they follow the official rulebook, ensuring the report is well supported and totally ready for any legal challenge.
This is a question we hear all the time, and for a really good reason. In a situation that's already so contentious, finding ways to cooperate is a massive win. So the big question is, can you and your spouse just agree on one appraisal?
The answer is a definite yes, and honestly, it's highly recommended. Agreeing to use a single neutral appraiser is one of the smartest things you can do to make this whole process smoother. It helps you avoid a really expensive battle of the experts and make sure both of you are working from the exact same objective number. All right, so we've covered the why, the how, and the what. As we start to wrap this up, let's pull it all together.
What should you actually be looking for to make sure you get a valuation that's truly defensible? Well, it all boils down to a pretty simple checklist.
When you're picking an appraiser, this is your checklist for what really counts. First, the report has to be objective. No opinions, just market facts. Second, it needs to be timely, because you don't want this process dragging on. Third, and this is non-negotiable, it must be defensible and ready for court. And finally, and this is a big one, find someone who understands the sensitivity of what you're going through. This isn't just a business transaction, it's a really difficult moment in your life.
And that really brings us to the ultimate goal here. You know, this whole appraisal process sounds very technical, but its purpose is actually deeply human. Could getting one objective valuation be the key to a separation with less conflict? When you replace arguments with a single, fair number, you remove a major source of the fighting. It lets both people make decisions based on facts, not just raw emotion, and that paves the way for a much healthier resolution.